Canada is a nation in the Northern Hemisphere whose capital is Toronto. Whoops, nope, let's try that again. Canada est une nation de l'hémisphère nord dont capitale est Montréal. Nope, still not right. Canada is a nation in the Northern Hemisphere dont la capitale est Ottawa. Because rather than locating its capital at any of the major cities that dominate the Anglo and Franco-Canadian worlds, Canada's capital straddles both. This is the story of how and why Ottawa is our capital city. And to tell that story, we have to go back. 1840, governing Canada is getting kind of messy and difficult, and the British are really keen to streamline the whole thing. At the time, there's Upper Canada and Lower Canada. That's better. Both have their own parliaments, both have their own cultures. Cultures that are dominated by Anglophones and Francophones, respectively. They really don't like each other. This will be a recurring theme, but don't worry about it too much right this second, because in 1840, the British Parliament passes an Act of Union, uniting the two, with one parliament for both and creating the one province of Canada. Problem solved, let's go get tea! Oops, nope, problem not solved. Because you see, Upper Canada is made up mostly of British people who speak English and are mostly Anglican, and they think the capital should probably be in Toronto, which is already showing signs of becoming a major metropolis. Meanwhile, Lower Canada is mostly made up of French people who speak French and are mostly Catholic, and they think the capital should be Quebec City, or maybe Montreal, which is already bigger than Toronto. But most of all, Lower Canadians think it should be in literally anywhere other than Toronto. Lord Sydenham, the Governor-General of Canada and a British merchant by trade, splits the difference and picks Kingston in Upper Canada, which Lower Canada doesn't like, but they can live with it. So that's why Canada's capital is Kingston. Nope, sorry, spoke too soon. Because some MPs aren't happy. They hate it in Kingston. At the time, it was smaller than any of the other options and doesn't have any of the nice stuff a wealthy politician can enjoy in Montreal or Toronto. Historian James Powell from the Historical Society of Ottawa writes that this kept coming up. Canada's capital moved a total of 6 times before Confederation, and Powell notes that Canada's parliament had over 200 votes on this one thing. Where are we going to meet? Montreal looked pretty good as a permanent option for a while until an angry mob burned down the Parliament building in 1849 due to the Rebellion Losses Bill, something I hope to cover in a future video. Parliament then moves to Toronto, and for the next few years, Parliament agrees to just sort of rotate between Toronto and Quebec City, because we can't go back to Montreal. By the late 1850s, Canadian politicians are coming around to the idea that we need to do our own thing, confederate and stop being a province of the British Empire already and start being a Canada. And to do that, you need a permanent capital. And Parliament still can't agree. So in 1857, they vote to kick it up the tree. All the way up the tree. They vote to ask Queen Victoria. The mayors of Montreal, Toronto, Kingston, Quebec City, and Ottawa all prepare pitches for the Queen, and in the end, she picks Ottawa, which nobody really expected. In earlier motions to pick a capital, Ottawa only got 11 out of 130 votes. 19th century historian Goldwin Smith called Ottawa a subarctic lumber village converted by royal mandate into a political cockpit. There was even a motion to ask the Queen to reconsider her decision, which was defeated through some slick political moves by John A. Macdonald and Georges-Étienne Cartier. Despite this, Queen Victoria may have been onto something. If you can't make everyone happy, why not compromise and make them all slightly upset? The Ottawa River splits the provinces of Lower and Upper Canada, or Ontario and Quebec, so one can reasonably argue that both the Franco and Anglo cultures are being represented here. Canada knocks up a parliament building on a hill on the Ottawa River, and it's up and running in time for the first parliament of the Dominion of Canada. And it's still there, apart from the bits that burned down in 1916 and had to be rebuilt, which was pretty much everything. All in all, it's a pretty nice building in a pretty nice town. A pretty nice town that is the capital, but is not Toronto or Montreal. And now you know why, which will be useful if you're ever at a pub quiz night or need to explain to somebody why Canada's capital isn't just the biggest city on the map.